Yeah, two of those guys, Greg Kinsler, former world champ, Jeff Lannon, another top player from Illinois.
Top player, great game, guy that's just looking for his breakthrough.
All right, so now we're down to some of the elimination bracket matches. We'll be playing on machines 2 and 3 here. Let me get make sure I got the right combinations of folks here.
All right. Matt's going to get going,
All right.
but wow. Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah. So on machine 2, we'll have Jeff Lannon and Greg Kinsler. And on machine 3, Paul Luna and Mark Stenmark. Come on up, guys.
Oh, boy. Wow. So this is going to be fun here. All right, elimination matches. We're just rolling right along now. So
How's the schedule looking?
this isn't the schedule. It looks great. So Clint Grover, by the way. So just because he lost the King of the Hill match, he's not out. He's waiting to figure out who he's going to have to play. Maybe get back in this thing, get another crack at Jared. So that's fun.
These are some really interesting matchups. Greg Kinsler, Jeff Lannon, some older school players, Illinois guys. And then on the other side, we got Paul Luna and Mark Stenmark, who are Houston players. Paul Luna grew up in Houston, I believe, moved to St. Louis for the last few years, part of Team Powercade down there, but just recently moved back to Houston, and these guys are the best of friends.
They
so
are.
This
They're
is going to be
really
a fun
close.
match to see. We've definitely seen them play before, but I think things are a little bit more intense for this matchup.
Yeah, it's kind of fun that they get to play in terms of just absurd talent, Golden Tee talent. So we're going to get these guys. Jeff Lannon, who had a great qualifier yesterday, we talked about, he's in the mix as well. And certainly Kinsler, man. Kinsler's been playing great. And we'll get another crack of this thing after just a close loss on Catadreas last time we saw him.
105,000 total rounds for Jeff Lannon.
That's it?
Yeah, that's it. 85,000 for Greg Kinsler. And, most people wouldn't think that Jeff Lannon is that the guy that, break 100,000, and you expect Greg Kinsler, two-time world champion, to do that. But like we said, Greg Kinsler taking some time off over the last few years, not playing as much, but still impressive stats. 29.52 handicap for Kinsler, 30.6 handicap for Jeff Lannon.
Also, Kinsler, too, beyond the stats, because I know game totals and stuff, compared to the other guys on the stage right now, is low, probably. And that's funny because Greg's been around longer than all of these guys. But match play, the experience, he's been on this kind of stage before, quite literally. He's won these games before. It does make a huge difference. So, and we're off.
So it looks like a nice setup here on Agave Ranch. Hole 1 is drivable.
Just missed it, looked like Mark.
Yeah,
did.
it looks like Mark just got it a little bit too far out there, pulling the trackball back out to the A and crushing it out to the 1. Now, Luna took that, and you can see on the shot feedback meter, he hit it in between the 1 and the 2. So now he's going to be putting in for Eagle, and we'll see how former world champs Chip turns out here. Just missing it. A little bit out to the right there. Now, throughout the day with Mark Stenmark, we've seen him, come back from a little,
hole 1,
little miss hits here and there.
Very, very early. Hole 1. This is another pretty interesting look, actually, to be quite honest. Both these guys can give a go for it. So that that's kind of the fun thing about Agave, especially early on with match play. Bring your power, bring all of it. Good shot there too. Just a couple of chips at it. So again, 2 matches going on right now.
Yeah, it looks like Greg Kinsler, Jeff Lannon playing on Crawdad
Shit there from
Swamp.
Paul. I'll keep you guys updated on the other game. We'll bounce around at some point as well, but settling in here. Good chip. Great Eagles, both of these guys. Oh yeah, love this.
You know what? And these are two, beautiful looking courses. Crawdad Swamp, Golden T4 remastered. You know, the art team took these, rebuilt them completely, and then of course Agave Ranch, our dusk, early night course. Just absolutely stunning
I think
courses.
the most beautiful course that we've ever made. They all look good, but this one is just always the time of day and everything else, just fantastic. Hope you guys are enjoying the split screen on the stream. If you have questions or comments, feel free to fire away. For myself, I'm Adam Kramer, by the way. We should check in every once in a while. Kevin Lindsay, Matt Van Hoosier doing an awesome job as an MC, by the way. Matt, it's exhausting. So Matt is doing
kudos to
fantastic.
him.
Yeah.
I think the easiest way to explain it to our viewers is that I'm the live stream guy. You are the daily contest preview guy. Is the
Yeah.
the easiest way to explain it.
Yes, truly. Oh, good shot there by Kins.
Luna and Stenmark playing the par 5 that is now a drivable par 4 with new tee boxes. Pretty straightforward look there. It's a beautiful shot there by Stenmark.
It's a good line. It's a little on the low side. A good chip. Back to our fabulous split screen.
Well, now, how about that? Next up is golfer 2. It's on the green. Don't rack your cue. Ready to tee it up.
You know, it's interesting. You mentioned the difference in the ages of these courses. The other thing I think is just mentality-wise how different it is too, right? You know, Agave on the right, Agave Ranch, which is widely considered, I'd say, the most approachable course in 2019, and Crawdad, which is not that.
Yeah, Agave Ranch certainly scoreable. These new tee boxes making it a little bit easier on those par 5s that are now par 4s. You get back-to-back drivable par 4s, which is with some really good looks here.
Absolutely.
Crawdad Swamp, these guys, we talked about this whole, 6 or 7 little ponds in front of the green with some hills, so you got to
Certainly a different
be
strategy
mindful
here.
of that, but of course, Jeff Lannon with a nice little
Really nice
smash of the
shot.
trackball. He's going to have a long putt, but
Gives himself a chance.
potential to get a stroke here.
Good shot there by Paul, trying to keep up.
Ready to hit. Here it is. Golfer 2 now putting.
That's a beautiful putt. 141-foot putt
Holy
from Jeff
cow.
Lannon. That's absolutely beautiful. So having now 1 stroke advantage, Kinsler with a normal,
That's
there was
maybe the longest putt I've ever seen in match play.
normal shot, laying up, not trying to run the risk,
No,
but it paid off for Jeff.
He took a risk and hit one of the,
Absolutely
probably the
paid
putt
off.
of the tournament, truly, so far. That was
It's your
unbelievable.
brand new putt of the week.
That is. I'm trying to think about.
I don't think there has been a longer putt in. I'm sure there has been, but in terms of something that we've seen recently, and that's just
Incredible.
Incredible.
Yikes. Golfer 2 to hit.
It really is the mentality too for these guys. If they get a chance and get on a green, get close to a green, chip it in, putter, even putts like that, where you or I or people out there would say once every 20 times, something like that. You know what I mean? Depending on how much you play, but man, that thing looked good the whole way.
You're right there. I love when you do the comparisons to us because we were like the perfect everyman that kind of know what we're doing.
I would, seriously, you hit that one better than 1 out of 20, but 1 out of 5, 1 out of 10.
Oh yeah.
Watch this one back up.
We don't hit it on this stage either.
Happy with this.
Thankfully.
Yes. The number goes up or down, depending how you want to evaluate it.
Oh, look at that, Mark Stenmark.
Man. All right, so shot advantage on each game you are watching here for the 2019 Golden Tee World Championship. We're in the elimination bracket for these guys.
Little feedback there. Oops. Starting a watch party on Facebook to get more Golden Tee fans.
And you were
in.
watching our watch party?
I was watching the watch party, and apparently my volume button didn't work as good as I thought. But, for those of you just joining us, like you said, Luna with the one-stroke advantage, making the putt on hole 1. Stenmark hitting his tee shot out a little bit far left and not getting that attempt.
Jim, I love this job. Golfer 2, trying for birdie. Golfer 1 with this for birdie. Golfer 2 at the tee.
Interesting look here on hole 10. We talked about this being a hole to watch. Definitely has made a difference in some matches we've seen on Crawdad so far. That pin being in the bottom left, I don't think we've seen too much of that either. You got to be really careful with that, especially when he's got that one-stroke lead.
Absolutely. Mark getting pretty close. He'll try and buzz that hole.
She'll get a lot of help from this wind. This ball will carry more than usual. Golfer 1 at the tee. About base.
A couple of really interesting shots coming up on both games.
Yeah, not too often you see a chip attempt for double eagle on this hole of Agave Ranch.
Golfer 2 will be putting.
Oh. Yeah, I gotta say, we're getting tons of love on social media, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitch TV. Everybody enjoying the production,
Thanks for watching,
the
everybody.
intense action. So, thank you to the Orleans Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas, of course, for hosting us. A great partner, lots of help throughout this weekend, and of course, Atomic TV for the wonderful production here.
Split screen action.
Split screens. Mark Stenmark taking on Paul Luna, the Houston brothers, and then
back
Jeff
together
Lannon,
again.
Jeff Lannon and Greg Kinsler, definitely have some storied history in Golden Tee. And
Illinois, all Texas games we got going on left and right.
Golfer 2.
Ooh.
Back to golfer 1. Near the dance floor. Save the putt. Golfer 2, a birdie putt. Next up is golfer 2. To the pin. Back again to golfer 1. He'll launch it if he gives it full power. Come on, ball. Avoided the trouble, Peter. Golfer 1 on tee.
Oh, Kinsler
Close.
just missing that that chip there to tie things up.
Golfer 1 with a birdie putt. Not enough. Golfer 2 with an eagle. Golfer 2 on tee. Golfer 1. Sitting just off the green. Ready to tee it up. It's golfer 2. On the green, pull out the putter. Golfer 1 on the tee. Golfer 1 is ready to tee.
Honestly, I feel like with Crawdad Swamp, we could probably have at least 6 or 7 holes to watch just because of how. Wow. Yeah, the tip of the cap by Greg Kinsler for that. Shout out to the Fringe for giving him some love there.
Golfer 2 up at the tee. Now up, it's golfer 1.
Wave of emotions on that shot.
We're down to 6, and things are getting intense.
Did you see that? on tee. Golfer 2 needs this for birdie. Golfer 1
It's a pretty good look here. I'd like to think this is going to buzz by it.
golfer 2. That's a remarkable shot.
Very close.
So 13 of agave. Interesting pin spot there. You got to be very careful that you don't roll past the hole, and that tiered green is not going to help you. Hopefully they're staying away from that, but water's
guys-
not far away.
No, not at all. Really interesting look.
Wonder how a pitching wedge would do on that hole.
I know a set.
It's a great shot there by Jeff Lannon. Driving that hole. We saw that earlier, a few attempts, barely getting over those trees, clearing it, ending up on the green for eagle. Look at that. Greg Kinsler. Wow. Two beautiful
Great shots.
Honestly, for a second, I thought the Kinsler shot might have hopped. I thought it had the line towards the hole, but impressive shots by both these guys.
Kid is having fun.
Long putt there for Jeff. And now where things are all tied up, Greg
Great
Kinsler,
hole.
two-time world champion, trying to make Golden Tee history for the third time, being our only third-time Golden Tee world champion.
We verified this.
I think I would know.
Kevin Lin- yeah, it's true.
Have you seen the pile on my desk?
I have. It's right by. Never mind. We got a long way to go here on Crawdad. In fact, we go right into an interesting hole, and certainly an interesting look here.
Golfer 2 with an attempt at eagle. That's got to get over it. Golfer 2 on the tee. Golfer 1 with a
We could censor that out. No big deal.
first look. Golfer 2.
Hey, man, I would have said the same thing.
I thought it.
Wow. Great shot.
Down the tee. It's golfer 1.
Now, if anybody has experience with making clutch chips like this, it's Greg Kinsler for sure.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful chip.
That is a
It also
beautiful
makes me feel so good that I called
Would you
that.
have felt bad if he
Kind of.
did-
He's got headphones in, so not
you
as
put
much.
it out there? Yeah, that's true. Less bad.
Less bad it is.
Great chip.
It's actually hard being on this microphone because I
Yeah.
just want to scream and cheer and just be
Think-
so
think
excited for
about
these
the-
guys. And
The matches that we've seen, boy, it feels like almost every match we've done. Oh, he's done
hole
it.
in one. He's done it.
I have to break that out. He's done it.
Could it be?
Could it be?
And
It
it
is.
was. That was beautiful.
Wow, what a sequence of shots.
Going from the clutch chip
Turning
to the hole in
back the
one
clock.
to keep the tie and then to break the
Unbelievable.
tie.
He kind of knew it too. The slow play, let it roll in. That was good. Wow.
So Paul Luna still a one-stroke lead on Mark Stenmark going into hole 16 Agave Ranch.
This is
A little bit of a tougher setup. We saw this pin before, but the wind was blowing towards it in a previous match. So a little bit more of a thought process. It's going to go in this one. You know, in hole 17 of Crawdad for these other guys, you got to be careful. You got to be careful. It's
Tricky
a
shot.
tricky shot. That green slope is not going to help. And just overall trying to get onto that green is so difficult.
the angle, the everything else.
Because even if you land it with backspin or bite, you still have such a chance of rolling down. I think it's a right 10 once
Yep.
it gets on the green. So tough break there for Kins.
This is spinning back. Let's watch the tee shot of golfer 1.
Wow. Great shot by Jeff Lannon.
Golfer 2 on the dance floor. Golfer 1. Golfer 2 about to putt. Golfer 2 to end the hole with no damage. He's got an eagle. Golfer 1 from the tee box.
Good chip there.
Teeing it up first.
Oh, Mark gives it a go.
Yeah,
Here in 17.
Luna missing that putt, so now these guys are tied up. Two great matches. Two really intense matches.
Yeah.
It's so hard to watch them both at the same time. It's so great, but your guys are just playing lights out. Wow, Kinsler, sigh of relief there. I just took a deep breath for him.
Yeah.
Now up, it's golfer one.
Great chip.
Great chip. So these
Great
guys,
game. We got more. We got more, and we got business on the right.
I think we all should just stop and take a deep breath as a group.
So these guys will get situated again in sudden death. That's you're watching Paul Luna and Mark Stenmark finish their game. Sudden death, by the way, not an 18-hole. Well, it could be an 18-hole game. We saw one earlier.
We
today.
did. We saw a
19-hole game. Yeah.
Shout out to Russ for that amazing card swipe to get the lock conditions in for these guys. But all kidding aside, great help all weekend long. Well, all right, so let's talk about Crawdad Swamp. These guys are going to sudden death. You know, how far? You know, what hole do you think might be the deciding factor? We saw Jeff make an eagle putt on, I believe, 6 or 7.
Yeah. Sorry,
No,
there's so much going on.
It's okay.
All right, so Mark Stenmark staying alive, favorite at our World Championship event. As we go right into sudden death here.
You know, this
No
is
time to
actually,
stop.
I forgot how wide open, you know, the first hole of
think
Crawdad is, and
Good
this
chance for fireworks here.
five
Shot-
wind dead
shot
straight in your
2.
face.
So many different ways to play this, to try it.
And I think you mentioned Jeff Lannon, and you know he has the ability to thumb really well too,
Yep.
and that's a perfect shot. You saw that there. Oh, right
Trying
there.
to get his Dean L on. there.
Everybody, yeah.
All right, so you guys are watching the Golden Tee World Championship here at the Orleans. We are deep into the bracket. We are on the elimination side. We are sudden death. So the first changing of score here, the first lead taken, will be the match. And another player eliminated.
That's not good. Golfer two up at the tee. Once again, it's golfer one. Over to golfer one. From the apron, it found the cup. Yes. Golfer two on the green, trying for eagle. Golfer two, a nice birdie opportunity.
Well, everyone relax.
Yes, I had to remember that.
Relax. It's like when you're at the horse race and people see the short races, the horses running around the first time they start cheering, even though they got like a mile to run. You know what
That
I'm
makes
talking
me
about?
miss the horse racing game.
Greg, don't run away, bro.
Greg
All right.
Kinsler moving on.
Yeah, please.
All right. So, Matt, take it away, my friend.
Thank you. All right, we got the two winners of the those matches there. First, we'll start with Mark. Mark, you were down one for a good portion of that one. Do that hole one there. Kind of take us through how you caught back up and then how that match finished out. Kind of your thoughts going through your head as you were doing it.
Yeah, I mean, I dropped the stroke on hole one. It was a easy drivable hole, and I hung it out wide into the bunker. Paul stuck it, perfect shot, of course. And then Agave is a pretty straightforward course. Unless you hold something out, you're not going to get a stroke back most of the time. So we get to 16, and Paul's clubs. He's kind of in between for a shot. He wants us to leave a safe shot, I can tell. He chooses the high 8, leaves it a little left, which gives him a down 4 right 9, which most of the time it's not going to lip out if you hit it in the center of the hole. But unfortunately for Paul, this was one of the few times it did. He hit it right in the hole, and it lipped out. Gives me a stroke. We're going in tied into 18, and I assume we're going to go into extra holes because it wasn't a very hard look, but Paul's pullback must not have read the way he wanted to, and the ball hung left on him. Went off into the rough for a very tough chip, and unfortunately he missed the chip. So.
Well, Mark, that was, I could imagine, like you said, with a player of Paul's caliber and a course like that, you really do feel like you need to stay aggressive, get in the hole, and it got to be frustrating not to be able to finish one. But congratulations on the win and keeping your mind in the match there to be able to come out victorious. All right, congratulations, man. Stay here, all right? It's you. Now you, sir. Speaking of entertaining matches, let's start with 6. The choice to lay up there. What was going through your mind on the layup choice on 6 first?
Well, I've been getting a lot of 120s, so I didn't want to do that. And I knew you're probably going to have a 140 to 120 yard or foot putt, even if you drove the green like Jeff did. And man, if I lost by 1 to that putt, that would have been just absolutely incredible. Because I mean, I wanted to lay up and make my birdie because, like I said, 140. That's a tough putt to make.
A lot of golf left at that point, obviously.
Absolutely.
Then we got the back 9 and that sequence there on 14, 15, 16, where it was trade putts on 14, and then make that chip on the bunker on 15, and with a wonderful called it by Russ, by the way. That was pretty impressive. And then go to 16 and jar that one. Riding the wave for sure there. And then 17 again to have that look and not quite get there. Just kind of take us through there, and how do you keep the highs not so high and the lows not so low as you're trying to maintain through that? It's a really tough stretch of holes.
Yeah, so 17 was tough because I was so amped up after jarring 16. I was just trying to keep my adrenaline from going over. So I didn't want to pop it over. So I took too much off it, and Jeff hit a great shot there, put the heat on me again, and then he made a great eagle. We go to 18, we both make eagle there, and then just unfortunate for him that on 2. I mean, that's literally one of the funnest matches I've ever played in my life. You guys out there are awesome too. That was
on a long list of matches at that.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations on your win, sir. It will be you, 2 former world champions, battling off here for for 4th place, 3rd place. So good luck, guys, and hit them well. All right.
Thank you.
Good luck.
As we move up through the bracket.
And that gives us a battle of Golden Tee Titans. Greg Kinsler, Mark Stenmark. But we're running out of games here. Reminder, first place, $30,000 for our 30th anniversary.
And face in the game.
The game, which I think just by the way you say it and have said it, you almost would appreciate more, knowing your love of Golden Tee. So we got the guys behind us getting ready to go. We're having a blast here. Adam Kramer, Kevin Lindsay, Matt Van Hoosier doing a great job with the interviews. Mark gave some awesome detail on that, by the way.
Yeah.
Of his round and just the kind of into the mindset these guys have. Same with Greg as well.
Couldn't write that script.
No.
I mean, it was those guys are
Get my
pros.
tape recorder out. So we'll get going with these guys. These guys are off and running on a little bit more agave, seems. Mark Stenmark liked it so much he wants to do it again.
The Golden Tee gods must have heard you talking about it earlier.
Now
We
we're
didn't see
getting
it on
lots of
stream.
Well, I love looking at it.
So a little bit of a longer look than what we saw previously with Mark Stenmark and Paul Luna.
But with the win too here, you can get a reasonable crack at this thing.
Which is exactly what Greg Kinsler does. Starts the game off with a hole out.
Well, that was nice. Good teasing. And also with a wedge. You know, you're used to a lot of guys taking from a 5-iron to a fairway wood there, but both these guys.
Oh, wow.
Shush. Eight wood shush, too. So when you don't have the wind and you have a lofted club like that, you can do that shot.
That's
That's
that ball was
unbelievable.
probably going at least 400 miles an hour.
When I was chushing, I wasn't chushing with an 8 wood. That's
And look at this, a wonderful setup
yeah.
on 2,
Wow,
straight
that's as
at
good as
it.
you're gonna ever see.
That was a close call there, Jim.
So the guys we mentioned, both world champions. Mark a couple years ago, Greg a couple of times. Both have played in matches like these for quite some time now, too.
Yeah, Kinsler, the first ever world champion back in 2002.
Did you just pull that up to check it, confirm?
No, I didn't because
Got
I
it by heart?
know. I know it by heart. I believe he also won in 2005. That I'm like 90% confident on.
Got me.
But, you know, a little bit of a gap in the world championship victories between Mark Stenmark and Greg
Oh, it was a
Kinsler.
little bit. Who knows? Maybe not for much longer. So again, the low tee for you watching and wondering when can I use these? We've seen shots on Crawdad where guys were trying to maneuver under trees, and then also, as we alluded to earlier, you're going to get extra spin on that. So if you've got a spinning iron like Mark does, you may not need it. But yeah, if you do that low tee, kill some distance, get some more spin.
There's a little razzle-dazzle.
Good shot there.
Now, I will admit that I was wrong. I believe Kinsler was 06 or 07. Chris Eversole was 2005.
Did he say that on the stream? Did he?
No, Dayton Root corrected me. So you know you can't be
Hi,
right.
Dayton.
You can't be right about everything.
Dayton, putting in the streaming hours.
Yeah, we.
Love Dayton.
Oh yeah, stream is just you know blowing up on social media.
It's awesome.
Hundreds and hundreds of viewers. You know, our highest ratings ever, I'll call them. But so many people tuned in on Twitch TV, YouTube, and Facebook Live. This is some really exciting action. They picked the perfect world championship to come
Absolutely,
watch.
and we still got matches, so go share it as we move toward the end of our tournament here. Again, another interesting stagger when you're just slightly off of the pin, so you got to either work it in left to right or right to left.
Wow, you're going to see that a lot from Mark Stenmark. I know we talk about it every time he's in match play. You don't think of him as a full, hitting a full shot, pulling all the way to the A and the C and hitting it straight, but he pulls out the stops when he needs it with that kind
and
of
the
shot.
strategy behind that is to get your ball moving toward the pin, right? I mean, it's just, to me, still watching it, it's unbelievable to see in match play.
Next up, golfer 2. From the rough step. Great short game, Jim. Nice. Golfer 1 preparing to putt.
It's funny, we talk about the world champion not only winning a $30,000 check, but also getting their face in the game. These two guys were here playing as themselves in the game, and it's got to be a surreal
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah, that's cool. You're right. You're exactly right. Only a couple of guys have that luxury. We'll get, potentially one more new one.
Sorry, Jeff Harlow.
Yeah, I was there's some campaigning for that
Oh, yeah.
already today. I'll omit names for the time being.
Gee, I
Piano
wonder.
Steve.
Oh, yeah.
Golfer 1 with this for birdie. Golfer 2 looking for a birdie. Ready to tee it up, it's golfer 2.
Tough break there for Kins, you know, hitting the corner,
Yeah.
just barely catching the side of that wall.
Tricky bounce there.
The little rock.
That's the only.
So he's got a few seconds. He's going to need to, you know, breathe in, breathe out, but
Golfer 1 is up.
it's still very early on.
With club in hand.
All things considered, we've got a shot at it still. Not bad. And we know he's been chipping. And his chipping is.
Oh.
Wow.
Golfer 1 on the green. That's a nice birdie on a par 5. Golfer 2 with an attempt at eagle. Golfer 2 on the tee. It's coming back. Golfer 1 ready to hit. Heads on, Jim. And now to golfer 1. On the apron. There you go. Golfer 2. A chance for eagle.
All right, as we approach the turn here, Stenmark with a one-shot advantage.
So because Greg Kinsler's already in the game, some of our fans on YouTube are saying that they should put Jimmy Mac's face in the game. So there's a nice shout out to Jimmy
Companion
McDonald.
face.
For 1. He ripped that one. Will the win make a difference, Peter?
Not a big wind here, but enough
Very
to
interesting
get
look
the
here.
yards.
Question: how aggressive do you want to be? Very
Oh.
good shot.
You know, we don't talk about it too much, but Kinsler has some dangerous thumbs.
It's
We've
that,
seen it
that
so
old
far.
schooler, I think that kind of ties to the previous generation of this game for sure.
Golfer 1 with a bid for eagle.
Great form too, by the way. So I've been judging thumbing form this weekend.
Golfer 2 on tee.
Shorter look here on hole 10, the par 3, than we're
Yeah.
used
Ooh.
to. Stenmark just rolling on by there. Another 5 hybrid guy, my kind of guy. Oh. Kinsler earlier had a hole in one.
Scenic route.
The one hopper hole in one, so trying to make that happen again here.
Golfer 2 looking at birdie. Golfer 2 is ready to tee off.
Interesting looks. Chances certainly to be aggressive and go at pins.
Which I think is great for a course like Agave Ranch and two former world champs like Stenmark and Kinzer.
Especially too here, if I think it works for both guys. If you're Stenmark, trying to apply a little pressure and you almost did. If you're Kinsler, you need a shot and you got a chance to get one back here.
Yeah, both these guys have losses now. So one of these guys at the end of 18 or however many holes it takes to determine a winner are going to go home.
See Kinsler going with bite. And that's, I think, the player you're playing against, the course you're on. The opportunities for Mark to drop a shot aren't as robust as they are at some of the other courses. So I think that's what you're going to probably see here on out. Probably another good chance, depending on positioning here also.
Yeah, this is actually another new tee box that pushes the pin a lot closer, so maybe even see somebody go up there and try to chush it in.
It's very interesting here. Just want to be comfortable with whatever distance you have. I imagine we'll probably see Greg want to push it a little closer to the hole. Tell you what, I know he hit the rock there, but that rock pushed him right out with a pretty reasonable wind. The right sloping green with the wind that will play it into that. It's not bad.
Really just going to depend on the irons he has, where he gets set up
gaps.
there. Yeah, Stenmark using the super spin 8 iron, so he's going to get a lot more kickback, and Kinzer just using the regular 8 9 iron.
And you're right.
Super spin sand wedge though. Oh, that
Burned it.
That was a thing of beauty, and that you're going to see that a lot over these next couple matches. A lot of burning of the edge of the cup.
He's given it really good goes here on a couple of different holes.
Golfer 2 has honors.
All things considered, these guys should be able to give this a run too.
It's on, Peter.
I've been talking about new tee boxes all day, but a good point Jim Zielinski made yesterday, that there's also new pin positions. So some of these looks you're seeing at these holes never been seen before.
Golfer 1 hoping to salvage par. Golfer 2, a shot for birdie. Golfer 2 up at the tee.
Skins down 2 strokes, going into 14.
Still
Another
time.
really good setup, but yeah, a couple holes left to go. Kins and Stenmark actually had some really good back and forth matches at the Tournament of Champions last October, where Stenmark, earned his entry into the World Championship. So these guys have some storied history in the match play with high stakes.
Unreal.
Let's watch the tee shot of golfer 1.
He might hit the bunker here.
Just scoots by.
Golfer 1, a birdie attempt. And it's in. And there we go. Golfer 2 from the tee box.
Stenmark very meticulous with where he places his gold tees. If you're watching at home, you might think, well, I just move it to one of the corners and call it that. But with this par 5 being potentially drivable, or at least a good opportunity to chip in for double eagle, you really have to think about your shots. And honestly, those couple inches or couple pixels of where you put the tee could really make a difference.
If you're wondering why the guys are, looking at home watching them, is that a pot of gold?
That is a pot of gold.
Okay,
And just like that
look at
shot,
that.
almost
Now,
on the green
If
for
you're wondering
double
why
eagle
they're
putt.
spinning the trackball, the term that I was told is setting the trackball. And you want to get the ball out fully, and you spin the trackball like that, and you hit a big C3 or an A1. It lets the ball kind of maximizes that shot and also maximizes the distance there.
Yeah, he got all
Fun
of that
fact.
one.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. Great shot. And when you need a stroke or two or a couple more, that's the kind of stuff you need to try.
Just missing that double eagle.
With a shot at eagle. That's in the cup. Golfer 2 with an eagle putt. First up, it's golfer 2.
Good shot.
It's a really,
Really
good shot. That green is very unforgiving. Up 10, left 3.
We've seen a lot of really interesting different looks here on this hole throughout the day.
The spin's bringing it back.
Golfer 1 trying for bogey. Golfer 2 with this. A birdie.
I don't know if there's much more you could say about that.
Golfer 2. Golfer 1, a chance for eagle. Returning to golfer 2. On the tee for the final lap, it's golfer 1. He'll be putting. Golfer 2, final tee shot.
Man,
It's a beautiful shot.
so it amazes me how hard he hits the ball. So,
Yes, counter. It's in. Golfer 2 with an eagle attempt.
there it is. Mark Stenmark, 29 under win over Greg Kinsler, who has a heck of a tournament.
Yeah, amazing run by Kinsler.
He's got more games to play. And then there were 3. Jared Decker is just waiting to see who he's going to play. And before we get to that finals match,
Turning to golfer 1.
Hello. Welcome back, guys. These guys are already off and running. We are getting down to the wire here at the 2019 Golden Tee World Championship. We got great shot points going all over the place.
Speaking of running around trying to find a restroom.
Well, we've got now Clint Grover and Mark Stenmark. We've seen Mark. It's been a little while since we saw Clint. Clint was, of course, in the King of the Hill match with Jared. Lost, but certainly not out by any means. In fact, one of these guys now is going to get a crack at Jared, the winner of this game. So hugely important, obviously. $30,000 top prize, $15,000 for second. So you talk about a little bit of a $7,500 for third. So do the math. You don't have to. It's pretty impressive. So big, important game. And then obviously even bigger than the money at this point, although the money's quite nice, is the fact that one of these guys could be world champion. Now, we'll go over it. Whoever does win this game, let's get ahead of ourselves, is going to have their work cut out for them. There's Jared, who, by the way, is now warming up in the back on game 11. Very quietly. We talked about the break that he had to take. Very real now. He's trying to get his mind right for whoever he has to play. So let's see who comes away with it.
That was just the wrong club, Jared.
Golfer 2, this left for birdie. Golfer 1, a shot for birdie. Golfer 1, up at the tee.
So again, more Agave Ranch. I wanted it. I got it.
All agave all night long,
I know.
apparently.
All agave. It looks great. And from what we've seen, it's given these guys ample opportunities to score here. Appreciate everybody still watching the stream on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube.
Yeah,
Appreciate everybody here, too, who came out. Place is still full. The energy's been fabulous all day, all weekend.
Yeah, as we get closer down the wire, make sure you guys are sharing that video on Facebook, YouTube. Like I said earlier, going to give some stuff away when we get back to Chicago for some lucky random winners. So make sure you share. The numbers have been great, and we appreciate it.
Ooh, good line. Good line. Just a little too much bite.
Golfer 2 with a shot at eagle. Golfer 1 with a look at eagle.
It's a really nice look.
Yeah.
Number 6. I know we've been getting very lucky with these setups looking great. These guys, Clint,
I was going to
great
say
shot points, great shot points,
before
great shot
that,
points.
Yeah, and I would be surprised if we don't have double shotties here.
Golfer 2.
Boy, oh boy, this is. If you're Clint and you just put it close, you got to sweat this one now.
Golfer 2. All right, guys. Golfer 1 with birdie with this putt. Golfer 1 on tee.
I don't think.
Golfer 2 now on tee. Golfer 1 to strike the ball. Gotta clear that bunker.
I don't think so. That looks fine.
Just missed.
Over to golfer 2.
Close.
Mark's done that a few times.
Yeah, I was
from
going
that
to say,
spot. Yeah.
what do you think the great shot points combined with these two guys is going to be by the time this course is done?
No kidding. That spot Mark has had some decent looks at. It's a little bit of a longer look here.
Yeah, not
a
too many
good
times you
looking
see a
line.
high tee.
Great shot. Great line. Great, yeah, you're exactly right. But because of the length, it will, the high tee obviously doesn't have the same amount of backspin. Again, a really comfortable wind that can kind of really guide your ball. This is more or less a pretty straight shot. I don't think I have to worry about giving Mark any help. I think
he might
hard
have
pass,
this down
hard pass
down
from
pat.
help from this guy. Plus, he can't hear me. He has headphones on, although maybe he's listening to the stream.
He's got some real thick headphones on. I doubt he is listening to you and I talk.
That's a really good start.
Golfer 2, ready to hit. Golfer 1. Is up.
Man.
6 feet, no shots.
Mm-hmm.
This is nice. You've got a down slope, a left slope, and that 6-mile-an-hour wind blowing the opposite way. So both these guys just going to look at that. Mark Stenmark.
Beautiful. The whole way.
Exactly. I'm doing really good at calling these shots. I'm not
That was
even trying
the
to.
whole way.
But that was a
You're
beautiful
exactly right,
shot.
though. He set up himself up perfectly, not between clubs. Wow. Very, very impressive run from both of these guys. So, Mark, it was interesting to hear his post-match feedback after he played Kinsler, and he talked about getting up a shot and then going into safe mode. Now, Mark's safe mode, I think, is a lot different than our safe mode, where we're just trying to parachute down to greens. He can still be aggressive, but I imagine his mentality is going to change here a little bit as well. And then I say that, and he hits a full. So what the hell do I know?
You know more than you like to admit sometimes.
I know, but man, I guess you could argue when you do that shot so much, it is there is no real risk to it, despite the fact that you're turning away from a pretty reasonable, simple shot, straightforward shot. That's yeah.
It's impressive.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
We see more and more players doing it in match play, but I mean, Stenmark is the one that breaks it out in these high-profile matches.
Which is incredible.
It's absolutely impressive to watch.
This is a longer look, but man, again.
That's fantastic.
I would imagine without a stroke lead, you'd see some different tactic there. You know what I mean? Like, I really do think it does change. It's fine. It's perfectly fine. But at this point, he doesn't have to put the gas pedal down fully just yet. And we've talked about agave. Chasing a stroke here is different than chasing a stroke on pretty much any other course in this game. Certainly, courses these guys are going to be playing.
Well, at this rate, it seems like we were playing Agave Ranch all night long. So might have more of that. Yeah, it's really interesting to look at these playing styles. Like I said, Stenmark hitting the fulls when the average, honestly, even the average pro
the term
player
full
wouldn't
is,
think that.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. There's a percent of a percent.
Yeah, when you say full, where you pulling that track ball all the way back to the A or back to the C and hitting it straight, trying to take that
good shot there,
wind out of play.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a very it makes sense.
Not too often you see these guys, click once to the left, or turn right and then go at the pin. Stenmark does it, but he does it so meticulously.
Yeah, no, it's a really good point. A lot of these guys will just cut the ball, and honestly, though, we've talked about it with new players too. These guys are doing the same thing. In some situations, especially with the higher lofted clubs, it's a great way to just get your ball in pretty center target without having to worry too much about it.
So Stenmark using the high tee there to get a little bit of extra
He
distance.
did that previously too. Kind of a similar look, actually, for the most part. Not exactly the same, but you know, you kill your spin obviously with the high tee, but you don't want to kill it too much with the drop there.
Yeah,
looming.
that 14-mile-an-hour wind blowing to the left, absolutely not helping there because they were nowhere near the pin on that.
No,
one.
but exactly. Yeah, that hole is just kind of a discomfort point. That is not where you're going to make your charge if you're either of these guys, quite honestly.
Now, this is a good setup here. New tee boxes. You take those trees out of play. You know, of course, still have a rock here, but I think it makes this hole a lot easier than what we typically see.
One very interesting thing, and man, what a shot. What a shot. With the pin the way it is, if you want to get this close at all, it feels like that's going to be the route you have to take. Great shot as well.
Yeah, it makes you wish you had the backspin on,
Very-
but absolutely understand why he doesn't because that bunker next to the green there
Yep.
is pretty
Going
deep.
to kick a little bit harder.
Yeah, much rather have an eagle putt than an eagle chip.
So this obviously was a pretty pivotal hole last time we watched Mark play it. Greg Kinsler, who he just played, had a pretty good chip at a double eagle.
Oh,
The tee. It's golfer one.
yeah, you're gonna. I don't blame Clint for
No,
just going straight
it
after it.
changes the complexion of the hole, certainly.
I'd like to see him break out that 2 hybrid.
Wow.
You see, I don't know if you
and
saw
getting
it.
the hole yell.
Clint Grover smile on his face. I mean, when there's such raw talent like that, an amazing shot, you can't help
That
but
is-
laugh.
That is a congrats to the guy who yelled "Get in the hole."
It's almost like me calling those shots out there.
That was wow.
That was impressive. You knew it was going to be close.
I cannot wait to watch that on ESPN.
Absolutely.
What a shot.
Now, if you're Clint, you know, you're down to 16, 17, 18. This is a hole where you got to be careful. That
It's-
water and that green slope.
And it's
real
tough
tricky.
now.
Two prepares to putt. Here we go. Got his ball. Golfer 2 at the tee.
It's perfectly fine.
Up at the tee.
You have to get it to the pin.
Golfer 2 on.
Oh, come on, Mark.
And it's in the hole. Over to golfer 2.
All right, so 2 strokes down to 1. Last hole here.
It's a tough setup there for
It
18.
is, especially when that pin is tucked up that high.
Yeah, you got a wind that's blowing left. That pin, like I said, tucked high, down 10. So you really have to, be careful with your putting
Distance
on this.
control, putting, absolutely. This is touches a lot of skill points here. That's just
That's
crazy. Wow. Great putt from Clint. And there you go. Mark Stenmark continues the run. Our favorite at the World Championship. In himself another finals.
Congratulations to Clint Grover,
What a
too.
run.
Amazing run. Especially on a stage like this with the competition in the field.
All right, Matt.
Clint, we'll get you first here. I didn't get a chance to talk to you before. I talked to Jared before. A very impressive run through this World Championship for you. Very, very impressive. And I think, if I have it right in my head, combined with your win of the silver bracket last year, I think that probably puts you as the person with the most consecutive World Championship match play victories, which is a little bit of a dubious distinction the way it's crafted, but hey, take it, right? The Mark hitting the rock there on the par 5, trying to drive that one. Before you saw that, were you thinking that was something you were going to go after, and did you change your mind having seen that shot, or did you kind of have a plan before events unfolded there?
I was never going to go after it. It's not my shot. I was just going to lay up and try and hold it out, and I play the grabbers, and I think they play the streaks, and they get the extra distance. I just try and hold out, and that's it. He made a great shot to hold that stroke, and that's it.
Right. Yeah. Certainly. I don't think that. Well, I wouldn't say anybody in the room didn't think he was going to be able to scramble out that eagle, but it was certainly an impressive scramble for eagle. But again, super impressive run through this championships, Clint. Congratulations, buddy. Good job.